this is Brijraj, and in this video, we are going to talk about Vue.js.
So now, I'll talk about as a front end framework, like we have in the market, let's say Angular, React. It's not a framework React, but it's a library, and one other framework is Vue.js. So today, I'm going to talk about Vue.js. So Vue.js is a lightweight progressive framework. Like the size of this particular library as a Vue.js framework size is very low. And why Vue.js? Because it's approachable, because if you have a knowledge of HTML, CSS and JavaScript basic knowledge, you can easily start with working on Vue.js part. And the second, it is a versatile means like like they are providing a lot of libraries with easily, and you can directly use that library in your project. And the performance, as I told you, the size of the Vue.js project is around 20 KB, and this is very fast optimized framework as compared to the another frameworks. So let's start it. So how we can use Vue.js? So I'll click on, this is a website, vuejs.org. So, and I'll click on the get started button. So we can so in this video, I'm going to talk about Vue.js. Specifically the version is 2, because this is right now a stable version, and we have another version is Vue 3. So in this particular bootcamp, we will work on Vue 2 part, Vue.js 2. Okay, so first, for accessing a Vue.js, you need to install Node.js. So I'll go to the website nodejs.org, and this is a website. And then you need to download this LTS version. So when you click on this particular button, you will get the executable downloadable file, and then you need to install this particular application in your system. And then after, you need to install Vue CLI. So I'll give you the idea. Installations. Yeah, so then you need to run this command. If you have already installed Node.js, then you need to run this command in your PowerShell or command line tool. So I'll open my PowerShell. So this is my PowerShell. Here we need to install Vue.js as a CLI. So I'll just install this particular path, and I have already installed this Vue.js in my system. So now next, what I'll do, I'll go to the, we will create a project. So I have created a folder, name is Vue, and inside this folder I'll go to the PowerShell, and I will create a project. So how we can create a small project on Vue? So I have already installed Vue.js in my system. So first you need to type Vue, because we are working on Vue, and then you need to write create. So create is a command we use for creating a project. So Vue create, and then you need to write your project name. So let's say my project name is my app. Okay, so first we need to install Node.js in our system, and then we need to install Vue CLI. So this is a command npm install Vue. So after this installation, you need to create a project. So you can create a project with the help of Vue create and the project name. So this is my project name is my app, and then I'll press enter, and you have to wait for a second. Okay, so this will give you the preset, you can use Vue 2 or Vue 3. It's totally up to you. So right now in this course material, I'm going to talk about Vue 2, because we are working on Vue.js, which is a stable version as of now, and in the corporate we are working on Vue.js 2 version. So I'll select Vue 2 with the help of the up key or down key, and then we can select the space bar, or you can press enter, and it will install some necessary file from uh, for the project. Okay, so my project is ready, and then we have a directory. If you go to the directory, so this is a project folder, and we have a project name is project name. So we on my app, inside my app we have some files. So how we can do that? We can go to the file with the help of cd command, change directory, and the project name. So my project name or directory name is my app. So now I'm inside my app directory. I can open my VS Code editor, so I'll just need to type code dot. So with the help of this command, you can directly open your VS Code editor from this particular uh, folder. So yeah, so my VS Code editor is open. I can close this one. So this is a default file for your Vue.js project. So I'll explain you one by one. So first we will run this project Vue.js project in our local machine. So in the Vue.js we have like menu bar. So we have a terminal section. I'll click on new terminal, and this is new terminal. Here we can write a command. So for running our Vue.js project, you just need to type npm run serve. Okay, so with the help of this command you will get like a local accessible URL, localhost URL. So you need to wait for a few seconds and then you can get URL. So this is my URL, localhost colon 8080. So I'll go to the browser and then I'll run localhost colon 8080. Okay, so this is my Vue.js project. So this is first by default file. Say welcome to your Vue.js application. For your guidance, installation, CLI plugin, and essential links and ecosystem. Okay, now I'll explain the directory. This is a project directory. So first we have a readme.md file. So we this for example, if you are working on GitHub, so we need a readme.md file. With the help of this file, you can can define the properties, details about your project. Like this is project and how we can set up the project. Like first you need to clone the repository and then you need to install, run this command npm install for running. So like compile and host hot URL for the development, you need to use npm run serve. And for the production purpose, you just need to run this command and you can fix the links and these commands, and these all are the customizable URL. Okay, and then like we are working on like Node.js, so every Node application have a specific package.json file, which is a main configuration file. Here we have a configuration file. So let's say inside package.json we have a project name is my app, the version and the private is equal to true, like right now my project is private. And then we have a script section. Whenever we are running npm run serve, serve means this command will be executed behind the picture. And when we run this command, let's say npm run build, so this command will execute in behind the CLI. Okay, and then we have a dependencies like dependency, and we have a two section, dev dependency and dependency. Dev dependency we use for the development purpose, and these dependency is for the production applications. So let's say I have created a final website. So final website having a dependency, so this is a dependency, and during the development you need this type of dependency. Okay, and then we have a esconfig, eslint. So eslint we use for the like it will give you the best practices about writing your code. Like do not like use console.log, and if you are using console.log you just need to comment, and you can do that with the help of eslint. And similarly we have browser list, so you can define the code. And then we have a package log.json file. So this is like the big picture for the dependency. So we have a dependency and the big pictures like specific version like I'm using. So like we don't need to work on this particular file. And then we have a babel file. Babel file we use for running your advanced JavaScript file, means ECMAScript file you can run with the help of babel file. And then we have a gitignore file. Like whenever you are uploading this code into the GitHub repository, so you can mention the file name and it will ignore this file. So right now like we have mentioned node module, so node module it will not upload into the GitHub repository. Okay, and then we have a node module. So as I mentioned, like in the package.json we have a dependency and dev dependency. So we have to install these JavaScript dependency files. So your dependency file will be going to install in this particular folder. again, this is like we don't need to work on this particular file. So like if you're working on Vue.js, so we have to work on these two files, public and src file. Okay, so I'll go to the public directory. So inside public directory, we have a basic file index.html. So as we know, like we can create a simple HTML file. So this is a simple HTML file having a head tags and the body tags, and then we have a div section where we have a ID is equal to application or app. Okay, so now we'll go to the src directory. So like as a Vue.js developer, we have to work on src directory. Inside src directory, we have some file. This one is for the assets. Like here, you can upload your image file, video file, or JSON file, or any other file you can use as an assets. And then we have a component, so we'll talk about this part later. So main, we have a file main.js file, which is very necessary. Like first, whenever we are running our Vue.js project, so this file will first work or run, and inside, like we are working on Vue.js, so that's why we have imported Vue.js, and then we have imported app.vue. And this is a by default code. You don't need to like update. You can update, but right now we will not update this particular path. Okay, so I'll save this part. And then we have app.js file. So basically this is a app.vue, not js. So this is a main component. So like I will explain what is the component. So like component is a like specific set of section of your website. So let's say this is a website, and each website have there are a lot of HTML code. So like this HTML CSS JavaScript code for the navbar, and some HTML CSS JavaScript for the footer, and some HTML CSS JavaScript code for the like drawer. Like drawer is terms of bottom, like you can sidebar, and some HTML CSS JavaScript code is for the view. Like here you can see the content. So what is a component? Like we can break this each module, or each we can break this particular JavaScript HTML file into the separate module. So module can be considered as a component. Let's say I'm creating a component for the navigation bar, so I can use this component navigation bar into the multiple pages. I can go use that things. So similarly, I can create a separate component for the drawer. I can create a separate component for the footer. I can create a separate component for the view file. So this one is for the content. So I can do that. So I'll remove this one. Yeah. So basically, in like how we can create a component in Vue.js. So we have, if we are working on Vue.js, so first we need to create a component. So we need to create a file, and then we need to use extension for creating a component. So the extension is dot view. So this is a view extension, and each view component having a three things, like first HTML code, see, then second is your JavaScript code, and the third is your CSS code. So how we can write our HTML logic? So if you want to create a component, so I will remove this entire path. Okay, it will be easy for us. Okay, so like this is a component app.view, and as I told you, like for each component have a two things, like three things, like your HTML code. So you have to write your HTML code inside template as a tag, and if you want to write your, if you want to work on it, your JavaScript code, you have to work on script tag, and if you want to work on style part, so you have to use style tag. Okay, so then we have template. So here we can create a div section. Inside div section we can write like this is my first view app. Okay, so I'll save and I'll reload, and so it's working fine. And I can add a p tag. You don't need to reload this page because it's working hot reload, so it's automatically working here. Okay, now we have a script section. Here you can define the view instance. So what is a view instance? View instance is just like as a view properties. So we'll write first export, and then we need to use default. And this is export default. This is a by default syntax. And in this particular view instance, we need to work on the data. So like each view have a data. So this is a syntax for defining a view data. So as you know, like we can create a variable. So here basically each view instance have a multiple variables, or let's say data. So let's say I have created a variable, or data is equal to name is equal to Raj, and is I'm not using equal to because this is a JavaScript object, and in this JavaScript object we can pass the key value pair with the help of colon symbol. Okay, so how we can print this view instance variable or data. So let's say I have used h2, and then here we'll write hello Raj. So we will use this symbol, curly braces, double curly braces, and here we can pass the value. So here we have a variable as a name. Okay, so I will save and then I'll reload, so it's working. So if you're working on JavaScript, so JavaScript is very difficult for us because we need to create a variable in JavaScript, and then we need to provide an ID of the DOM, and then we need to write a content document dot get element by ID dot inner HTML, and then you need to pass a value of that particular variables. So similarly, we can create another value. So let's say value is A. So A value is, let's say, 34, B value is for 45, and we can sum. So we can write a logic sum of A. So A, how we can print the value of A, and B. So we can use this simple B is equal to A plus B. Okay, got it. So this is how we can print the variable, and this is very easy for us, and view is very easy again. Similarly, we can create an array. So how we can create an array? So I'll create an array. So here we have an array 34, 56, 23, or 67 or 6. Okay, so we can print the array. So I'll create a p tag, and then here we can mention the array, save, and then reload. So its array is visible. If you want to print the array like each element, so we have to use for loop. So how we can use for loop? So I'll create a p tag, and then inside p, like this opening tag, we have a directive is just like as an attribute where we can use. So we have a directive is v4, like we are want to apply for loop. So inside we have to pass two things, like first, like from which element we need to perform the operation. So we have array, and then we will get the item and the index. Okay, so basically this is a syntax, and this will be the unique key. So my unique key of is index. Okay, so basically what I'm doing, so I am actually applying a for loop for the Vue.js. So I have defined the array here, and then inside the small bracket we have used two things, like first it will give you the item, means the element, and it will give you the index. And here we need to use the define the key. So how we can define the key? So key, and here we can mention the index. So the key should be unique. Okay, so now we can print the item. So item is the element. Okay, so we have the data 34, 56, and 3. Okay, so this is very easy again. So I'll just comment this logic as of now and reload this page, so it's working. Now we can also perform the operation. So let's say is visible is equal to means the colon is equal to true. Okay, so I want let's say I'm creating a div section, and here is your content. Save and then reload. So we have a p tag. I just want to show this p tag if this particular value is visible. Is okay. So here we can apply if else. So here we have to use v if. V if means if the value is visible value is true, then it will be this p tag will be rendered or visible. Okay, so by default this value is true, so that's why we are able to see this particular content. So here let's say I'll change the content is false and then save, so content is hide. So you can do that with the help of this thing. Okay, So this is easy, just you need to use a few directives. First one is v4, how we can print the data of array. And similarly we have if, like we can use like some of the content we need to hide depend on the variable value. Now I'll show you how we can perform actions. So we can perform actions. So I'll create a button. So we can create a button with the help of button tag. Here we can create a button. So here I'll write a button value. And for performing an action, so we need to use v hyphen on as a directive and the name of the action. So my name of the action is click. Okay, so here you need to define a function's name. So my function name is show data. Okay, so now I'll define a show data as a function. So how we can do that? So this one is for the data. So second we have a methods. Here you can define a methods. Okay, so my method is show data. So I'll define a show data. So data is a function. So that's why small bracket. Here we can write a console.log, or here what I'll do, I'll just uncomment this part, and I will change the value of this variable. So how we can do that? So this dot, with the help of this symbol, you can access this particular variables. So I'll use this dot is visible, is whatever the value, I will change the value. Okay, like true to false, false to true. So I'll click on this button. So content is visible. I'll click on this button. Content is hidden. So you can also perform this one part. I think this is easy for you because we have to do some practice, but we can do that. Okay, so now I'll go to the component part. So component, why we are using component? So like as I told you the scenario, like each website have, we can divide the sections like nav bar, like footer, sidebar. We can do that. So like component approach is very easy. Like if you are following the modular approach, and it will be easy for us. So in the Vue.js, we can also create a component. So like this is a component folder. Here you can define a components. So now I will remove this entire file, and here we have remove this entire file. Okay, and then here we also remove this entire file. Okay, now got it. So now I'll create a new file. So my new file is github.vue. Okay, so basically we are creating an interface for getting details for the GitHub user, and or not a GitHub, we can say blocks. Okay, so this component is for the blocks. Here we can print the data for the view block. So as I told you, like each component have like three things. Like first is template, second is script. So this one is script, and the third one is style. So we have a style. Okay, here we can define a div section. Here we can write a logic. And first we need to use, we create a view instance, so we'll have to use export default. Okay, having like things like data. So this is a syntax like you need to follow, and like if you do some practice, you will be easy to understand this one part. Okay, so like we have a JSON placeholder API. So I'll just go to the link JSON placeholder. uh, these are the REST APIs, so we will use this REST APIs. So we have APIs for the post. So I'll use this APIs. I'll just copy this part, and like we will create a button here. Button is for show data. Okay, and we need to perform actions when we click on this particular button. So we have to use v colon n, and then we need to use click. Here we can define show data as a method name. So here we will define show data as a method name, and now we need to call the APIs based on this button. So we have to use fetch function. Here need to pass this particular path, and this is a basic syntax. Like if we like these APIs is successfully executed, so we will convert into the JSON. So that's why we have written JSON. Okay. So that I will view ref content. Okay, now like we have a data, so we'll use then block, and then we have a final data, so here we can print the data. Okay, so we have a data, so like how we can do that, so here we can create a blocks of array. So this is a blocks of array, and we will print like pass this dot blocks is equal to data. Okay, so we have an array of object like data, like we can print this data in the console.log, and if there are any issues, so we can handle with the catch block, and here we can print the error e. Okay, so I'll save and reload this page. So we do not have a component as of now, we have created a UI part, and we can also print this blocks just for the understanding purpose. Okay, so now we have created a component for the blocks. Now we need to integrate that blocks as a component here. So how we can do that, so we need to import the blocks. So we'll write a logic block import, then we have a blocks component, and from, and then we need to pass the value. So here we have a src directory, and here we have a component, and then we have blocks. Okay, so this is a blocks, we have imported this block component. Now we need to register this particular block. So how we can do that, so first we have a component as a property, here you can pass the block component, and that's it. And then you will be able to see the content. So here you just need to use, so like first you need to import the component, and then you need to register the component. And this is a component is just like as a HTML tag, so we have a HTML tag. Okay, so it's working fine. So when I click on this button, we'll wait for a few seconds, and then you can get the data. Okay, so this is how we can get the data, and we can print the data. So I'll write a logic for the printing a data. So what I'll do, I'll create a div section, div, and inside div we will apply for loop. So we have a for loop. Here we write double quotes, and then we have a value. So we have item comma index in up, I'm applying from blocks, and what will be the unique key, so my unique key is equal to index. Okay, now we need to print the blocks, so that's why we have written h2. Here we can write the JSON data. So I'll go to the inspect element, and then we have a console part. Inside console we have an array of object, this is an array of object. So we have a title and the body, so I'll pass this title in this particular path. So what I'll do, we'll write item dot title, and for the body, so here we have a p tag, here we'll write item dot body. Save, and then this one is save, and then reload. So when I click on this button, you will be able to see the current blocks. Like this one is block 1 having a title, and this one is for the content. So this is how we can print the data. Okay, and one of the best thing about like this component, like you can reuse this component, you just like multiple times, like you can create, I'll give you the example first. Let's say I want to implement bootstrap, so I'll go to the documentation bootstrap. So we will go for the home page, and then so we need to copy this css library, so I'll just paste in the public directory having an index.html file. So here we will paste the bootstrap library. Okay, so in the bootstrap I will so I'll work on the bootstrap part. So we have a app.view. So first we have a container, so I'll create a class for the container. Okay, and then we have a row, so I'll create a row, and then we will create a column of two columns, so I'll pass a value of 6, and I want to create a two columns, so I'll write two times. Okay, so I'll just copy and we'll paste it here. And now we need to apply the component. So this is here we can write. Okay, so we have rendered this component 2 times. So I'll just reload this page. So it's working. Okay, so now we are working on Bootstrap. So we can apply some margin properties, so empty2 to create there's a space. And this is a block. So here we have a class for the Bootstrap. So we have a class is btn and btn primary, save and then reload. Okay, so when I click on this component, so it will give you a little blocks list. When I click on this component, again it will give you the block. Okay, so like this is one of the best thing about as a using as a component concept. Like we can reuse this HTML code multiple times. So it's totally up to you how we can utilize this one. So let's say I want to create a 4 times. uh, just write save and then reload. So first, second, third. So you can reuse, utilize or reuse this component. Next video, I'm going to talk about routing part. Like we can create a multi single. This is right now a single page, a single view. So like we will create a like navigation path, like where we have a slash about page slash contact page. So we will do that. And thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.